So I'm going to hand this back over to Michael. He's going to talk about the flexibility of Azure and specifically why he's going to recommend it.
Exactly. Thanks, Matt. All great info. So yeah, this is one of the other things, like I speak to lots of businesses day in and day out about cloud services. You know, some are happy with the environment they're in and some not so happy. But one of the things a platform like Azure provides you is a little bit more flexibility if you're not as happy, let's say, with the service organization that you're working with, and now you want to change to a different provider. So there's definitely an advantage to Azure there. And let me just kind of explain how that works. So companies like Pace and other companies that call themselves MSPs and whatnot that offer their own private cloud services generally want you in their private cloud. Why? Well, it makes you sticky because it's not so easy to then change providers. Because if you want to change providers and don't want to use Pace Technical anymore, and I have your whole infrastructure hosted at my own private data center, all of your servers, all of your data, all of your information, when you want to change to another provider, somehow, some way, you have to pick up and move all that data. And that move is a project, and the project is going to scale from somewhat simple to, can be very, very complicated. It could be almost like, you having to go out and, buy, let's say, new servers, and a team of my people has to come in and do a fresh install from the ground up. We've got to do the installation of the operating system and then install all your applications and then kind of migrate all of your data and then re-implement all the security for all of your users from the ground up and go visit everybody's workstation. Like, it can be a giant project to move. And that's what makes you very sticky if you are in someone's private cloud. And I'll tell you, that's why a lot of providers, especially companies like us that have made a big investment in their cloud infrastructure, 100%. It's like buying a big apartment building. And if you own this big apartment building, you got to rent these rooms. We can't let all these things sit vacant. We got to get you in our cloud. The other thing is that one provider to the next can set up and configure their back-end systems. Is it running fully on a Microsoft platform? Is it potentially running on a Linux platform? And now you want to go and move that to somewhere else, may or may not be so easy. So all depending on how that provider has configured systems, as well as the cooperation level. When you want to go to move to somebody else, you need their cooperation. And again, as I mentioned, it could potentially be a complete rebuild. Now, if you had all of your cloud services in Azure, obviously, and Microsoft 365 for your mail and Teams and things like that, in the majority of cases, a move is literally just an account change. Now, there's a little bit of a process in the background in paperwork that has to happen, and you still do need cooperation from whoever your current provider is. But when you do want to move, let's say you don't like Pace anymore and all of your systems are in Azure, now we don't have to move any data or systems or anything like that. We're literally just going to do an account change of the support owner of your cloud infrastructure that's going to be there as the admin people that are going to support your environment. So this is a huge thing, because I talk to lots of businesses that, they're unhappy with the provider, they're in their cloud. Once they start hearing how much it costs, to move and do this change, that's a deterrent from them changing. And then they just end up living with this provider that's, not being very nice to them. So that's definitely a huge thing.